Okay, so happy holidays, everybody. I'm going to introduce you again because it was such an obnoxious noise. This is Terry Griffith, my best friend, and my left arm today because I don't have a left arm to use and she doesn't have a right arm to use, so we're going to sew tandem. And this is my assistant, Michelle, who you usually hear on the phone when you call and need any help from us at Creative Feet. And we're going to sew a holiday scarf. There were a couple things I wanted to talk about. One is, are they happy now? This is the cell phone purse. It's one of the YouTube videos. And if you're a Facebook friend of mine in my Creative Feet group, is the pattern for this. And this is what I wore in the hospital to put my cell phone in. And they let me keep it. Like after the surgery, they handed it right back to me. It was really nice. They let me keep it all the time. They're like, yeah, as long as it's not having to be held by you, then you can keep it. I have some other holiday videos that you should watch if you want to have. This one's a great present. Is also a good present for yourself if you want to enjoy a cup of cocoa or coffee on Christmas morning. This is my snowman mug rug, and in this lesson you learn how to use the octi hoops for free motion embroidery. You learn the satin edge foot for piecing, the satin edge foot for stitching around the edge, the pearls and piping foot for finishing the edge. It's a really good way to get you going if you already have our products and you haven't been using them yet. And there's a pattern supporting it at creativefeet.com. But we'll get down to the fun stuff. You've been patient. Thank you so much for your patience as we work through the audio issues. Okay, I have to wind a bobbin. I'm going to use invisible thread. If you've ever used invisible thread before or heard anything about it, you might have been told to never wind a bobbin of invisible thread. However, there's no reason why you can't do that. You just have to know how to wind your bobbin. One-handed here.
My other hand is ready.
Yeah, you talk to them. Well, I find my invisible thread spool that I had in hand twice already.
Smoke.
There you go, thank you. And by the way, if you've been waiting for our pressers to come back, as you might imagine, I have not been able to run the lathe to make them. But thanks to Michelle, she introduced me to this wonderful young man named Thomas, and he has been making our wooden pressers again. So you want to hold these up to these are for pressing seams, so you don't have to use the iron. And good time to buy them with our discount going on at our website right now at creativefeet.com. Hold it still. Let them look. There you go. There. They're beautiful. Okay, I'm winding a bobbin and I'm placing the cone. It comes in mini king cones like this, designed for the thread to come up off of. So I'll put it on my thread dispenser, which I don't know if it's in the, I don't think it's in the shot right now. And I'm going to wind a bobbin of it.
Linda Burgess has finally got it. Yay!
You know, last year it was so easy. I was expecting it to be as easy this time. Hi, Linda. And I thank you guys for being so utterly patient with me. So I'm winding a bobbin as you normally would, but I have my thread spool on a stand. And you do that because you don't want to increase any tension as you're winding a bobbin with it. Place it on here. Can you hit this? Can you see the start right there? I'm setting my speed on the bobbin wind to a slower speed. Can you hit the boot? There we go. And then when I say, can you hit the stop?
Close.
Stop. The stop. Yeah, thanks. Okay. This is challenging. What is
Excuse me.
like, what's going on? Something's weird. That invisible thread is invisible. You don't need to wind a full bobbin of it, and a full bobbin of our invisible thread is the equivalent of winding 100 bobbins of cotton quilting thread. That's a lot of thread. So even if you just wind a little bit, it may be enough for your entire project. Winding it at a slower speed will decrease the chance of the thread stretching and getting hot as it runs through the tension of the bobbin winding assembly. And if it does stretch too much, it gets hot, it causes the center core of the bobbin to shrink, and then the top and the bottom of the bobbin can break off. Some people call that exploding bobbin, but there's certainly no explosion that's actually taking place. So there's no harm in winding a bobbin as long as it's 100% nylon, 4 thousandths in diameter, monofilament thread. You shouldn't have any trouble at all. Except for what you just saw happen here. Oh, I put it on the bottom. Live. Where's the end of this thread? There we go. A nylon monofilament thread will stay on the bobbin, so you don't have to worry about it unwrapping and tangling up inside the machine. And I'm going to go ahead and use the same thread on the top. Go. Doing the one-handed threading. Do any of you have questions while I'm getting ready?
No, but Linda says, thank you for being persistent in getting it to work. LOL.
I'm just glad you don't have that much going on today. All right, I can't get it to cut with one hand. Get in there. Yay! Thank you, Baby Luck, for that wonderful needle threader. Now I'm putting on one of the accessory guides for the sequins and ribbon foot. The middle one. You do so by removing the nut from turning the nut on the foot until the guide falls off the foot. So basically you have the foot assembly and the guide with the nut on it. And then we're going to put the nut on. Teamwork. You're going to need to put your hand on the actual nut. I'm going to start turning the nut. Maybe we'll switch because I've turned the nut a lot more.
Okay.
Let's hold the clear part. There we go. Okay, so.
That's better. That's better.
Yay! So now the foot has this smaller guide attached to it than the one that comes with the foot already attached when you purchase it. And the hole is still very small compared to the thickness of this eyelash yarn. So I got to get this yarn through the hole.
Becky's back.
Hi, Becky.
She says you are loud and clear.
Yay.
Cool. Linda's asking, are you selling the liquid stabilizer?
We do have it. It's called Liquid Baste, and you'll find it under the accessories link at creativefeet.com. And you can use that anytime you would normally pin anything. It is something that you'll see me use almost all the time. I don't think I've done a video except for maybe free motion quilting or embroidery without using it. Now I can't get that fluffy yarn through the hole, so I'm taking just a regular piece of thread and lay it down on the machine. And then you lay the yarn across it, grab the two ends of the thread. It's amazing how hard everything is with one hand. I appreciate you so much more.
Becky says, guys, don't forget the thumb up.
Thumb up?
She's the one from the Netherlands.
Oh. Okay, here we go. So you hold the foot.
Ay, ay.
And so I can see it. There we go. I'm putting the thread through the hole. And then we just pull, and then the yarn goes right into the foot. And unlike any other foot, this one keeps the yarn or traps it in the foot. So you don't have to hold it in place under the needle. And to recap, for those of you who are joining us a little bit later, thanks to our audio issues,
15 people.
we are sewing physically handicapped today. Know that I will heal. The doctors don't think I'll ever be able to do that again, but I can touch my nose. That's new today, so, and you know I'm a fighter, so I'm not going to give up easy. I broke my shoulder, and it's put back together. And now Terry's has only use of her left hand. I only have use of my right hand right now, so we're going to sew together right now. And how we got these fabrics together, this was a jelly roll. Just took three jelly roll different fabrics and overlapped them 1/4 of an inch with the liquid-based water-soluble stabilizer in a bottle. And you just draw a line of it on the fabric and then slide your finger across it and then lay your fabric on top. This is fully dry because it's taken us so long to start. And now we're just going to line up the yarn. And you can use any kind of yarn that you like. There's all kinds of knobby yarns. And pretty much your yarn section of your store is now a trim section to sew down. The reason I've chosen to use yarn instead of pearls or rhinestones or even ribbon is that it's softer and it flows and it's nice and soft if it touches your skin. It'll also add a little warmth. The foot has a nut on it that changes the position of the trim underneath the sewing machine needle, which is really neat because all other feet that have a guide, they just are in one spot. So if your needle's stitching away from where your trim is, you're pretty much stuck with their feet. But with mine, you just move the guide over and the trim, hold your finger out like that. Her finger is the trim. Your needle will always be swinging where you want it to because you can move the trim over to the needle. And I'm going to select a stitch they call the couching stitch, and this is the Baby Lock sewing machine that I'm using here. But you could use like a 3-step zigzag tricot stitch, the serpentine stitch on the Bernina, any stitch that does like several stitches to form a zigzag stitch. I'm using invisible thread, so it's really not going to show anyway. And you could also even use a straight stitch on this. What we're trying to do is not catch it too often. And you can see that I'm not holding the yarn. You're going to make sure that the yarn doesn't start to pull. That's good. I wouldn't undo any more than that. You might have trouble. And now I'm just going to hold the material up rather than hand down on the fabric. Usually the biggest, what I find most sewers do is they put their hands down instinctually on top of the fabric, and that stops the fabric from feeding. So you want to hold your fabric up and then sew. And we're going to go ahead and lengthen this a little bit. And I can see I need to move it. Which way? That way? There we go. And then it's just, you know, zoom, zoom. This doesn't even require any stabilizer because the water-soluble stabilizer in a bottle, which we call a glue, even though it's not really a glue, is actually stabilizing these two fabrics together, creating a stabilizer. After I sew one side, I can then go ahead and stitch on the other side, and we'll have a duplicate look on both sides because of the invisible thread. It won't cause anything to show on either side. Since we have an overlapping seam, the seams are the same on the top and the bottom. The thread just kind of pulled.
Marsha Ann, she is trying to order your presser on the Creative Feet, and it is saying 0.
Okay, there's a pull-down menu on the, and know that we're building a brand new Creative Feet site. It's going to be so much easier for you to work with. The is this Marsha on hi or Marsha?
Yeah.
Hi, Marsha. Oh, I just want to hug you. You're so sweet. She's so kind. You remind me of my mom. I feel like I have another mom when you comment on Facebook. I'm so glad to have you joining me right now. there's a pull down menu. You click on it to choose your color, and then you'll see the price of the pressers pop up. They're all the same price. What did I got going on here? Let's see. I didn't pay attention to what was going on because I was talking. Okay, there we go. It's kind of boring. Do you want to do it?
No, that's not fine.
You're not having to really do much. So for those of you who think you can't do this, you can see that it's really not involving two hands to do this. The eyelash yarn is getting stuck sometimes, so you got to keep your eye on the front of the presser foot, not on the camera. I kind of got off. Oh, that's what's going on. I broke my thread. This is live programming. No, it's not broken. Must be the bobbin.
Margie says, I am here. It says, thank you. I am probably older than your mom. I am 76 years old.
Oh, well, my mommy passed in 2015. She was 82 years old. I'm the youngest of 6 children.
Linda Bridges, she says,
Linda.
I have got 5 rolls of the eyelash yarn given to me. Thank you for the idea.
Aw, how sweet.
Cool. It's fun yarn.
And I know that name because I typed it in the computer. She ordered something recently.
She's on I think I see her on Facebook a lot, actually. Oh, this left arm.
I think she just tried to send you something.
Okay. You could also combine other metallic threads and stitch them across and swirl them around before you do the yarn in the sections. Let's see, what should we talk about while I'm sewing, since I don't have to really pay attention? Do any of you have, I know there was a lady on my Creative Feet group on Facebook that was having issues sewing large pearls and with our pearls and piping foot, and it's because she didn't use any stabilizer, and she also didn't know there was a washer on the pearls and piping foot. Do you think you can get close to the camera and show them the little Are you not happy with your fingernails?
Here,
You just want to show them the washer. Don't worry about your fingernails.
No, it's not my fingernails.
A little bit closer.
Yeah, the washer. My nails touching the washer.
This is one of the things that sets our pearls and piping foot apart from other companies' copies of my pearls and piping foot. That washer
Moves back and forth.
changes the needle position for your sewing machine needle, so you don't have to worry about your needle ever striking the pearl. So if you ever use my foot and your needle breaks, know that you probably need to slide the washer to the other side. And you may not have seen the washer because it's clear, but it is there. If you have had any trouble using any of my products, we also have a book and a video that you may not be aware of. Something's wrong. Oh my goodness. I know when I'm at a show and I have problems like this, the customers go, I'm so glad to see you're having trouble. There we go.
Everyone's human.
There we go. Yes, even me. Another comment I get at shows is people say I make it look easy, and honestly, the feet make me look good, not the other way around. Oh, I got it stuck on here. That's what's going on. It's this is a day of humility for Claire.
You're too hard on yourself. You're doing it the first time with one hand.
It is really challenging. I'm so grateful to have a better understanding of what you've had to endure all these years. It really is something else. So And
I
she-
deserve
and-
a brownie button.
Yes. And she was all, maybe you'll come up with something for those of us who only have one hand. And I'm like, a can opener needs to be developed. That's better. That's out there. That's for sure. This is tangled up, so I just messed up is all. I don't thread the machine one-handed is, I think, what is going on here. Try this again. Those of you who've worked with invisible thread, you know the challenge in seeing the thread. We got bright light shining in our eyes. Am I making a mess on the table?
All the beads and the eyelash stuff is kind of dangling up.
Okay, Terry, can you take that thread and go up, back. Now come down, straight down, all the way down to here, and go under. Nope, on this side. Wait. There we go. Now go back up, straight up.
It's not.
Up,
It's
up,
not
go
going.
up. I know. Now go that way. No. Now come back down. Come back. Just do what I say. Come back down.
You don't see it, but it's done.
Okay.
I was holding it, not letting it go.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want it to go. There we go. No, it didn't thread it this time. I don't know. I think this is kind of painful to watch. Are you guys having fun?
Marcia says it will get better. Claire, praying for you.
This is the first time with handicap.
This actually is my first day sewing since I broke my shoulder.
You just had surgery 10 days ago.
Yes. Okay, I think I just need to lower the foot, lower the needle, raise the needle. Try rethreading again. Still not working. Oh my goodness.
It's in there.
I know, but it's like it's not gonna work. It didn't work 3 times. I'm just gonna do it old-fashioned way. Oh boy. Did you know that if you put something white behind the needle, you can see the eye of the needle better when threading your needle? And Baby Lock has this white section on their snap-on bar. Wow, just putting the thread under the foot is a challenge. Oh my goodness. Come on. As you can see, the foot is doing its job. It's the operator having issues. Where's my thread tension? I think I need to take it down a little bit.
I think Jennifer just joined us.
Hi, Jennifer. Where's she from?
I don't know. It says, hey, can you do a free motion video on free motion couching?
Not today.
It's a video. It's like a video.
This foot's not designed for free motion. This is the feed dogs take control, allowing you to not have to hold the trim or the fabric itself. This is all thread issues that I'm having right now, which is interesting.
I've never seen you have thread issues.
You've never seen me have thread issues?
No.
Leave it there. There we go. It's getting caught on my Velcro.
It's okay.
And I don't normally pull from behind, but I think it's because the eyelash yarn is just getting stuck a little bit here, a little bit there. There's one.
Yeah, invisible thread coming all over.
Yeah, where is that thread
I don't
coming
know.
from? Invisible thread. I promise it's not my hair. It's just laying there. Can you imagine if I was doing this and I had to pin all this together first? I would be going much slower. I think we finally got it going. Terry, can you see here how tight that sounds? That's something going on with this spool. We just have a bad spool here. There we go.
They can't see your.
That's okay. All right. So basically, I was going to have this mostly sewn before we started filming, and everything takes longer when you only have one arm.
Janet asked, I feel for you. How did you break your shoulder?
I was getting out of a Uber car or Lyft car in Seattle, about to enjoy a dinner with my son and his girlfriend, and I looked at the puddle because it was Seattle and it was wet. I have these great boots on. They have rubber soles, and I was like, I can go in that puddle. It looked like it was only that much, but it was that much. And then I started to fall, probably because I was on the Space Needle and I was already a little wobbly. The Space Needle is a really tall building in Seattle, if you're not aware of it. And I was wobbly. And so when I took a step, I started to fall. And I knew that if I kept my cell phone in my left hand, it would crash onto the ground. So I threw my cell phone out, and I didn't get my arm back in soon enough. And so my arm was extended and I fell, and I'm sorry, I'm being too graphic probably, but my shoulder was in perfect positioning to just break. And it broke in 4 places on the humerus, which was not humorous at all. So it was the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I had to get on a plane, I had a connecting flight. So I had 2 flights the next morning to get back. My bone was like dangling in my arm. It was awful. And then I get back here and they couldn't schedule surgery because it was Thanksgiving. So I didn't have my surgery until last Thursday. And immediately after the surgery, I felt so much better because I could actually communicate with my arm. So now 9 days after, I think it's 9 days, I feel so much better. So know that I am progressing, and I'm not giving up on my range of motion. So we've sewn all the way down one edge here, one length here, and isn't it striking how yarn, it just makes such a difference, and it's light, so when you wear it, it won't add weight. I'm going to go ahead and continue sewing this. I don't know if you guys want to watch me sew the whole thing, but know that I'll be going around the outside edge as well. And there will be a new video coming out on this scarf, and basically it's eyelash yarn again on the bottom of this. And I took it and just wrapped it around a index card, and then I stitched it down on the bottom. So I'll probably do the same thing on this scarf. And I will post pictures on the YouTube channel because they're now letting me do that. So I'll update you on this. If any of you have any questions for me right now, I can't thank you enough for joining me today for this. Know that we have another thing I wanted to bring up is that if you are not getting our newsletters, check your spam folder, because it might be sitting inside of your spam folder. We send them out. We don't overdo it. I know how annoying that can be. And we have a brand new website coming out really soon, so you'll be able to interact more with me there. And I've got plans to do retreats in 2018. The show's schedule will definitely be changed because of my shoulder. So for those of you disappointed that I may not be coming to the shows and being in a booth, know that I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'll still be a part of your lives. We're just going to have to figure out another way to do it. So does anybody have any questions before we call it a day, despite I didn't finish the scarf. Looking forward to bringing you some high quality videos very soon.
Mention the coupon.
Yeah, the coupon is running at creativefeet.com on our home page. You'll see it. We don't post it on YouTube because YouTube's for forever and people will forever be going, why isn't the coupon working? So we're not going to list it here. Know that we don't always run coupons and it's a really good one. So make your way over to creativefeet.com and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, because we're working on a couple videos right now on the editing process and we hope to upload them very soon. Is anybody commenting?
No, Janet did say, good grief, sounds excruciating. I hope you heal quickly.
Yeah, I feel a lot better, and come here, and come on, and everything is possible with a little help from your
Yeah,
friends.
Merry
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
Happy
Merry Christmas.
Hanukkah, Mele Kalikimaka, Happy Holidays. Be seeing you soon. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
X the black box. We're still live. Go to the X box. The program playing below it. The link under there. And now, oh, someone's writing. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Jennifer, Linda, Becky. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all joining me today and being so very patient. And DKH, I'm glad you like hearing me. So let's see here. More sewing coming soon, I promise. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
Marsha's the DKH.
Oh, Marcia.
Well, now that we got the sound going, we can do this again.
Yes, next live episode will be much better, I promise. I'm going to keep those settings saved in this and figure out, because there's got to be a way to test this without going live, I'm sure. If only my son Vincent didn't move to Seattle. Why isn't it shutting off? Yes, we want to log off. Bye, everybody.
Bye.